Welcome to this press conference. This is a press conference in respect of the visit by His Excellency the President to Kandara constituency on 14th of April this year. That is this week on Thursday. And I will say that I have learned through AIPC, the Karara in Kandara church leadership, that His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, will be joining the Christians in Kandara at Kakarara during the Holy Oil celebrations. That is on 14th of April 2022. The last time His Excellency the President visited Kandara was on 29th of December 2019 during the burial of Honorable Child here at Gitura, Kenya. This current visit, expected to take place on Thursday, is a day when the Holy Oil is a significant ceremony for the Christians all over, worldwide. The family of the Christian family of Kandara and the entire Kandara fraternity, residents of Kandara. I want to therefore welcome the President, but avoid politicizing this event or this visit. I take this early opportunity to welcome His Excellency the President to Kandara. We shall be on standby. I will be on standby to receive him as he joins the Christians in Kandara. I have a few requests that I would like to present to the President or to remind him as he comes for this visit. One of those requests is that sometimes in 2015, I presented the President a request in writing and the building plans for Bildad Kagia Level 4 Hospital. Before I made this presentation in writing, we had a conversation, one-on-one conversation with His Excellency the President, and he agreed to fund the construction of the hospital. The hospital budget, the construction budget, is about 500 million shillings, which will include a male and female ward, both surgical and medical wards. There is also a proposed pediatric and maternity wards. All these are within the main hospital construction. It also has a minor theater and a major theater, the main theater and a minor theater. We also had included a mortuary in our building plans. We had also proposed that as soon as we finish the construction of the hospital, that we shall extend and put up a KMTC, that is Kandara Medical Training Center, because within this hospital land we have 12 acres, and therefore we have enough space for all those proposed institutions. That is the hospital. We also needed a mortuary, and we needed a KMTC, including a further extension for staff quarters. The first initial cost, so that we can have a running hospital with ward, admission wards, is 500 million, and the President had no problem with that proposal. He requested me to present this proposal to him in writing so that he can forward to the ministry and make the necessary, give the necessary direction and instructions. This written proposal was presented to His Excellency the President at State House, Nairobi. And I remember him receiving the letter and handing it over to his personal assistant and instructed him to ensure that he takes action or make the necessary directions. Thereafter, I took the opportunity to remind His Excellency the President of the same project when we went to Sagana 1. Indeed, after Sagana 1, when I presented my own written presentation to the president, he was very apologetic that we had not managed as a government to allocate funding for the construction of the hospital. Soon thereafter, we also, as a team, as parliamentary group for the region, Mount Kenya region, we also put in writing, each member of parliament put in writing their requests and demands that we needed the government to address. To date, those proposals, which included now the hospital and various roads, have not been taken up by the government. There was also a proposal, in that proposal which we presented in Sagana 1, I had included Kahaine, Kavuruge, Kiranga, Jeraine, then Gatito, through Jerainya, and back to Kavuruge, through Mugesha, then to Naro, and to Kivereke. That road, Tarmac Road, was one of our priorities for this particular term of His Excellency's presidency. Then in 2017, the Minister for Roads Infrastructure, CS James Macharia, also with his entire office team, ministry team, during the campaigns and when we were seeking for votes for the Uhuru second term, he appeared at Budoro, near Gatumbo, at Gatumbo Shopping Center. We held a big meeting there with the residents and the CS Minister for Roads Infrastructure, undertook to ensure that as soon as elections were over, we shall have Budoro, Gatito, Kamae, Karemamwaro, Lituya, Mkoe, Lituya, all the way to Nyoka Nyoka, and also take a Y section through Karimamwaro, through Kiawamboto, then joining Gatito Shopping Center. About 25 kilometers. The CS Minister himself undertook in the presence of the Ambassador Karao, the administration from the commissioner, the county commissioner in this place, my sub-county commissioner, or the DCC in Kandara, and we were very sure that that construction would not take 2 years. To date, no allocation has been made, so I would like to remind the President that his government committed itself to the people directly through CS Roads, James Macharia, and that is on record. Then we have the last piece of road that I presented, Sharago, Kadogo, Kagudi, to Gedumu Shopping Center, about 22 kilometers of tarmac road that we needed to have. These roads, of course, are kind of a hindrance to proper development and growth of this region. And sincerely, Kandara people voted for His Excellency the President, man to man or man to woman. And we were able to achieve our target for about 75,000 votes for His Excellency the President. And therefore, I would want to just remind His Excellency the President of commitments by his government, commitments which were made, some directly to the people. And even when we came for voter registration, he also added his own personal commitment by saying he will ensure that this constituency, among other constituencies in Muranga, will enjoy sufficient, adequate domestic water. To date, the bulk water in Kandara is not sufficient, it's inefficient. The water resource, amount of water that we have is not sufficient for the community, for the number of people now we have in this constituency. And we have taken this up with PS Wairago when he was PS Water, let alone now when he's running for governor. And that was taken up early in the government, the year or the term of the government, that is 2018. and requested that we enhance Kandara bulk water. That I must surely remind the president that we are waiting for his government to do that. I'm therefore asking the president to note that his office also, that is Kibicho, assisted by his deputy Osea, recently 2 weeks ago, because of this visit, they caused the unlawful arrest of the General Secretary for the Supreme Board or organ of the AIPCA, the combined AIPCA church, where I want to thank the president because he has put in a lot of effort to bring the church together. But the church cannot be brought together through intimidation, through arrests, illegal and lawful arrests of church leadership. There has been a lot of intimidation to the church leadership, and they have been specifically told that they must stop supporting William Samoei Ruto because some of the members of that church have severally invited the deputy president, who has been available always to support their projects. And therefore, I want to ask the president to be aware that the church membership is uncomfortable and is unhappy, and while they welcome his visit, they would want it to be a free visit without intimidation, without harassment of church membership, leadership, in the entire church leadership, because the top leadership, some of them are being used by the office of the president, that is the Kibichu and Osea, to cause fear and intimidation. Indeed, Bernard was detained for 2 days. The GS for the Supreme Organ was detained for 2 days. He was taken to court thereafter, after 2 days, with trumped-up charges. And his vehicle to date has been confiscated, has not been released. While it is not the duty of the president to get involved, he must know that there are bad intentions and practices that his officers directly working in his office are working round the clock to intimidate, to cause fear, because they have been unable to persuade, to use the language of friendship and persuasion, possibly to accept some of the directions that the president would want to see people taking. I therefore want to remind the president that the democratic space and governance in this country is something very dear to him as part of his legacy, and is also dear to the country. This country has gone through a very repressive regime before the multi-party democracy settled, before the 2010 constitution. There are, however, some of the public servants and civil servants, especially within our government, within the Interior Ministry, that believe that people must be forced, people must be directed, people must be ordered, orders from above must be taken and listened to, that people must follow a certain political direction. That, to His Excellency the President, is not going to work. The people of Mount Kenya region have severally shown disregard of those kind of directions, and would want to ask His Excellency the President to take a low key in the ongoing campaigns so that he can protect his legacy, to actually understand that these people of this region have a very close relationship right now with William Samoei Ruto. Indeed, William Samoei Ruto was expected to be part of the gathering for the Holy Oil celebration. We are still possibly expecting him. He indicated that he is likely to come, but if His Excellency the President is a visitor, then you understand, by way of protocol, then we may have to start down the visit of William Samoei Ruto. In this regard, I want to call upon Kenyans to avoid being used, to avoid violence, look forward for a peaceful campaign myself, I'm lucky that I'm not going for nominations, but I want to call upon our members, United Democratic Alliance, and the parties within the Kenya Kwanza fraternity. Today is a very big day because we are receiving another maybe 6 parties within the Kenya Kwanza fraternity. I would have been there, but for this press conference, because I believe it is key and important for me to communicate to the residents of Kandara that I have no problem with the visit of the president, and I welcome the president, and I want to tell the president that there are people who keep on lying, either the intelligence, either the people working around him, keep on peddling lies that he's likely to be booed. I think as long as the president is coming to pray and worship with us, to be part of the Holy Oil celebration in this particular constituency, without politicking, and I cannot gag the president, but there are lines that this, the community around here now may not want. They are visitors, they are not likely to receive kindly, especially noting that William Samoei Ruto was supposed to be part of that gathering. And therefore, I just want to remind the president that people around him keep on peddling lies, that we are likely to boo the president. We have no time, we have no space or business. It's not our business to boo the president, it's our business to welcome the president. The Christians in this constituency are peaceful. I know the AIPCA, I have worked a lot with them, and I know I'm a friend of the church, I'm a friend of many members in that church, but also we will not accept politics of intimidation, politics of causing fear within our constituency. And therefore, I also want to wish the Christians a very, very peaceful Easter period. And I know we should all be celebrating Easter, the holy month. And it is really a very good thing. Those doing nominations, I want to wish them, all of them, a very successful period. And I hope that they will also be able to accept defeat those who will lose. Members of the United Democratic Alliance, I know that the campaigns are very heated right now, and I have not taken any sides. I want the people to make wise, intelligent decisions as to who will take our United Democratic Alliance within this county and elsewhere. And thereafter, we will continue to work as a family. There will be free and fair elections, nominations. Materials, I am aware from the National Elections Board and the party secretariat that materials started being received. Non-essential materials started being received yesterday. I also know that from the communication received from the National Elections Board that the ballot boxes and ballot papers will be received between yesterday and today. And therefore, I want to assure everyone participating that they will get an opportunity to have their ballot secured. The security within our county, it is important that they know that Kenyans would expect, our party would expect that they will provide security, because the impact of nominations, the results of nominations also impact directly to the general elections that will be held on 9th August 2022. And therefore it is important that we provide security. So I want to appeal to the security sector within Kandara constituency and within Murang'a County that we expect support from them without any condition, because that is a service that the people are entitled to, especially around this time. Peaceful elections and no violence will be tolerated by the United Democratic Alliance. UDA is for democracy, it's for the rule of law, and we will not accept impunity. Even as we form the government, there are those practices that this government has been taking up, some practices of fear, intimidation, arrests, use of criminal justice system to stifle democracy, to stifle free choices, to freedom of movement, political choices. That should not be something we should accept or tolerate as a people, having fought so hard, including independence struggle and also the multi-party democracy struggle. Thank you. Yeah? No.
Yeah.
There we are.
Uko sawa Kiingereza?